Hmm. Hmm?
I gotta ask, and this has been weighing on my mind for like literal years, but I gotta know what was the inspiration behind the Reverse Flash stuff. I gotta know.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, the reverse flash thing.
Yeah.
So I've always loved reverse flash, like by concept. And one day, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, you did that, right? And no, it was a tweet that someone made, and it was one of those things where I'm just, it's probably disappointing, but I'm just scrolling through Twitter, 2020 lockdown and stuff like that. I'd just gotten the role in Lackadaisy, and I was bored, and I was like reading it, it's like. It was me, Barry. I jerked you off at super speed, so it seemed like you. Oh, fuck, that's funny. I'm just gonna record that, and then I spent like about 20 or 30 minutes, like trying it out, and I was like, "It was me, Barry. It was me, Barry." No, morning. It was me, Barry. I jerked you off at super speed, so it'd seem like you nutted at just a woman's touch.
Oh
And
my god,
I
that's so cool.
it's crazy that I still get quoted on that. It's like that's still around like regularly. I will see that
Oh
like
yeah.
pop up every now and people come up to me at conventions, and I'm sure you know how it is because like we're both like we've been doing this for a bit. Like, how long have you been voice acting for, Vikram?
Yeah, so I started it as like a hobby in like 2018, but then I started professionally around 2021. So that sounds about right. Yeah.
I I did a similar thing in 2014 because the way I got into it, and I've been talking about this at cons, was like people are like, oh, how did you start voice acting? I'm like, I was in college and I was watching Homestuck comic dubs, and it like connected in my mind. I was like, I can do this. I can do this too. But getting a bit deeper on it, I used to get bullied for my voice when I was in high school
Really?
because yeah, I hit puberty pretty fast and pretty hard.
Mm.
So imagine a lanky, spotty 12-year-old boy with a really deep voice, and he doesn't know how to control that voice. And he's like, "Hi, my name's Valentine. It's nice to meet you." And I would kind of speak like a robot because I didn't know how to inflect and control my
Gotcha.
voice. And yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, it's one of those things. I just didn't. I didn't. It just hit me so quick and fast. And then obviously time sort of went by, and people used to bully me for it and be like, "Oh, you sound like a robot." One time in music class, I remember. Me and my team, my group of some of my good friends, we were doing. We were like, "Well, what song are we gonna play?" And my friend's like, "Let's do fucking Tribute by Tenacious D." And I don't play an instrument, so they were like, "Val, you have to do the singing because we all play instruments." I'm like, oh shit. And I remember like we did the introduction. It was like, okay, what's everyone's names? Jack, Jacob, uh, I can't remember the other guy that was in there now off the top of my head, but everyone introduced them. I'm like, Val. And then we went for it. And I actually did really well, and everyone was actually really impressed by my singing. I remember. Because I liked singing privately to
Yeah.
myself and everything like that. I would sing like Frank Sinatra for my mom and
Oh,
things
that's
like
nice.
that when I was a little kid because I just thought Frank
Damn.
Sinatra was cool after I watched like the BioShock trailer
Mm. Fair
in
enough.
2008, and I was like, "Oh my God, this song fucking oh, Blue Eyes. Yeah, that's fucking rocks." Oh, do you have a thing about swearing on here?
Oh no, not at all. Go swear as much as you want. Be a sailor.
Okay, I'll try not to. I'll try not to. Um, but I used to sing privately myself, and I used to sing Tenacious D even, and I knew all the lyrics to Tribute, and I was like, okay, I'll sing. But I was really embarrassed about it. But everyone was actually really impressed. And then when we were playing it back, when everyone was introducing themselves, and it got to me introducing myself, and it was like me going, Val. It came out as like the lowest chord on a bass guitar. It just sounded like I went bow because I just didn't because I wasn't inflecting and I didn't know how
Yeah.
to control my voice at like a young age. And then I hit college and I was like, I love video games and I DOS about and I don't do much. I like anime and I like video games, gigantic nerd. Um, and I was like, I should do something productive that I can get into and something that I can like work towards, I guess. And that's where I always wanted to be an animator, but I can't draw for the life of me. And
Mm.
I'm a bit impatient, I guess, in that
Yeah,
regard. I'm
fair enough.
getting better. Yeah. And I kind of realized like, oh, I can try voice acting. And I thought to myself, everyone in high school used to bully me for having like a robot voice and stuff like that. So I always kind of ran with that as like a big inspiration for myself, to be honest.
Mm.
And I stuck with it. Obviously, from 2014, I got my first job working for a Vietnamese indie game company,
Oh, cool.
developing like a dating sim about
Oh,
gods,
nice.
and I voiced the king of the gods. And I did this American accent and stuff that like I sort of developed over time. It doesn't sound much different, but like it's just me changing the way that I speak, I guess, and rather than speaking like this, obviously. And they really liked it. They paid me £20,
Nice.
and I still think about that to this day because I'd started it for like 2 months and I was over
Oh,
the moon. I was
nice.
like, I bought £100 microphone. I got paid £20. I was like, oh
Yeah,
my
what?
God.
There are only four more jobs to go. Let's go.
Yeah, yeah. And I was over the flipping moon, and I loved it. And then I got into BTVA, and I used to do a
Mm.
lot of auditions alongside like Michael Kovac, like in
Yeah.
his somewhat early days, because Michael Kovac's been doing voice acting for like ages,
Mm.
like a pretty long time since he was like really young, actually.
Yeah, that's
Um,
right.
like at least early teens, I think he told me at one point. And I was like, damn.
Wow.
Like that explains why you were so good when like we were on BTVA and stuff like that. Because I always thought you were amazing whenever you auditioned for things. And now we're in Lackadaisy together,
That's
which
right. Yeah.
is insane, you know. And it's definitely one of those things I'm sure you understand where like you get into it and it's like people ask you what you do and what you're into, and it's like, oh, I'm a voice actor. And some people kind of go like, what is that? And it's like, it's pretty self-explanatory, I thought. But, you know, you got to tell them, and then they'll turn around to you and go like, can you do Brian Griffin from Family Guy?
I fucking hate that so much. It's like that
Yeah.
furry monkey, you know. It's like
Yeah,
this.
yeah, it's the whole thing where it's like whenever you're talking to people who aren't into that stuff, it'll be like, oh, impressionists.
Mm.
That's the first thing that people go to because obviously, but
Yeah.
and it's never an insult, but it's
No,
always
they
like,
just think of like the funny voices kind of thing because it used to be like that, in the early days. So like I can kind
mhm.
of like understand it, but
And I totally get it. I can do a Shaggy voice and something like, let's get out of here, Scoob, and stuff like that. But you know, it's not like the bread and butter of what we do,
Yeah,
obviously.
no,
You know.
100%.
Yeah,
Um,
it's more like something that you just kind of have up your sleeve or something. It'll be like one day, Matthew Lillard, you'll retire and I'll be there in the wings or
yeah,
something. Jokes,
you could
obviously.
be you could be Springtrap, whatever he does.
Yeah, yeah. Oh God, he is Springtrap, isn't
Yeah,
he?
he is. Yeah, I think
I
he's a
still love his.
he's also a
No, go on,
spring
go on, go on.
he's also Springtrap in Dead by Daylight as well. So like he's
Oh my
voicing him as
God.
well. So he's doing quite a good job.
Matthew Lillard is Springtrap. Matthew Lillard is it Afton? Is it
Yeah,
William Afton?
William Afton. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not a big Five Nights at Freddy. I was really shocked. I have Five Nights at Freddy's 4 on my Steam library, and I was like,
Mm.
why? Why do I have this actually? I've never been, is it analog horror they call it or something?
Um, I have no idea what to call it. I would assume
Mascot
so.
horror?
Mascot horror is probably more what it is.
Yeah.
Because I always like, because it's not quite like creepypasta or anything like that, but like it's like has like its own lore. That it's so confusing. It's like I'm thankful to like game theory for like simplifying it down for me because I would have no idea what's going on. Um,
Yeah.
because I never got like when I first played Final Fantasy Freddy's like way back when. I never got that these animatronics were filled with like the souls of children. I never really got that from like the first play I came through playing. So I never really got that.
No, it's a weird one. So I actually have a question for you,
Yeah,
as a
sure. What's
matter
up?
of fact. I have two friends who worked on a similar project with you, and I think it's with Skyset Entertainment.
Yes, that's right.
Yes, yes, yes. Because yes. Skyset Entertainment. Um, it's my friend Freddie Hines and Bradley Gareth were
Mm,
on Beauty and the Warrior with you, where I know you
yes,
played the yellow monster
that's
in
right.
that, and I was
That was
curious,
a while ago. Yeah.
like, like how was that experience? Because it's because they Skyset seem to do like a lot of really classic sort
Mm,
of movies that I always kind of love those things because they're quite unappreciated films, but it's really cool that they're getting dubs now
yeah.
and stuff. So I was wondering what your experience was like on that. Like what kind of voice did you use for it? Because I've been wanting to watch it, so I was very curious
No,
what you did for that.
no. Well, thank you. Thanks for that. That's a throwback. I haven't thought about Beauty and the Warrior in a while, but yeah, dude, it was fun. Like it was one of their like first like licensed dubs they did with Skyset. And they did such a great job. Like the session was like really smooth. I had such a fun time. And they're doing so much more stuff now. So honestly, shout out to like Phoebe and Hayden. They're doing some good stuff. But
Hell
in, ter-
yeah, that's awesome.
in terms of the voice I did, um, I apologize because like it's
Oh
still
no,
like
good.
very early morning for me. But I was like in the zone. I was just doing like I was like really low and gravelly like this, like that kind of thing. That was the kind of voice I did for the Yellow Monster, and that was so much
Well,
fun.
I honestly I felt the chills there. I think the morning voice probably really helps with that sort of like. Yeah, you ever get that when like you're doing the voice acting, you like wake up in the morning and you have something like, oh, I still got morning voice. Utilize it.
um, I think for me it's usually more nasally than like breathy or gravelly. It's like, oh, fine, I gotta go do this now. It's like one of those things.
It's me, Vikram Rajan, just doing
Yeah.
his thing.
Yeah, just Peter Griffin, honestly, at this point. That's what it is. It's just Peter Griffin. But yeah, that was the story. But yeah, I because Bradley is also with you in Lackadaisy, I think, right?
That's right. I love Brad. He's also a big anime nerd. I love talking to him about anime. Haven't spoken in a little while just because it's a little tough with like the time differences and
Yeah,
stuff like
no,
that
it's
to have
fair.
like consistent call. I'm sure you understand because
Oh
like
yeah.
when I was looking at the time difference between New Zealand and England, I was really like, oh damn, like, huh, that's like a big okay. And I felt a bit bad because I was like,
Oh no, it's
well,
okay.
I was like the most convenient time I could do is if I wake up really early in the morning, or you wake up really early in the morning, and I had the develop Brighton to go to. So I I woke up at like 7 in the morning,
Dang.
got everything ready and got to the train station at like 10, got on my train, got into Brighton at like 1 o'clock because England's a small country and everything, but it took like three
Mm.
hours to get there. And then on my trip back, it took about 5 hours to get home. I left at 8 p.m., met a bunch of lovely people. I do not get around much in the voice acting community. I don't go to many like meetups or anything like that.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
Um, yeah, and I'm a bit of a loner at heart. I prefer to go camping and things like that
That's
and
still pretty
sleep.
cool. That's pretty cool to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a bit of a camper. I like doing stuff like that. Solo like little walks and stuff, hikes with friends, few days out and things like that. And I've always been like a keep to myself kind of guy. I'm always, as you can tell, I think I've made a good impression, but I'm
Oh, you're
very
fine, dude. Yeah.
I love talking with people. Kind of hate talking with people by typing, to be honest.
No, that's so
Um,
fair. Cause like you can never really get the tone from typing, which really pisses me off so much. I hate
no,
it. I
oh
hate
yeah.
I hate the tone tags. Where it's like hashtag J or whatever the fuck it is. I hate it. So like I'd rather just get on call
I
or something.
yeah, it's like I try to use a lot of emotes and emojis and stuff
Yeah,
like
that's the
that and
only
be
way
like,
I can like understand what people are feeling. Emojis are unironically very helpful for me.
they
Uh,
really, really are. But I literally, so I went to develop Brighton, took me ages to get there, took me ages to get back. I left at 8 o'clock because I had a long trip ahead of me to get home. and I got home at literally like maybe 1:30 in the morning.
Damn, dude.
Yeah,
Jesus.
it was so long, but I don't regret it. Everyone was really lovely. And I went to a pub
Mm.
with a little event being hosted by a studio, and everyone was super lovely. Most voice actors I had ever been around in a single setting,
Yeah,
and I was
what
like
was that?
actually
What was that like for you, actually?
it was super nice. I had never been to such a big gathering of like other voice actors. I've done conventions, I've met up with people. Um, Probably the one before that that was like the biggest like oh everyone here is like a voice actor and stuff like that was a London MegaCon. I
Mm.
didn't go as a guest or anything like that, but Michael and Marissa and I want to say was Lizzie Freeman there? I think Lizzie Freeman was there.
Oh, it's mainly
Basically
like
the
the
whole
Digital Circus cast.
yeah whole Digital Circus cast, Marissa Lenti. I don't think Alex Rokon was there.
Mm.
Elsie was there.
Damn.
Um, Ragatha's voice actress,
Oh,
who is
Amanda?
yes, Amanda, who I used to speak to, somewhat, but again, England, so
No,
uh,
I feel that, man. It's so hard with like the time zones. Like seriously, I been doing like game nights and like organizing that shit. It's so
yeah.
fucking hard,
No,
dude.
exactly. And it was so nice. Oh, and then I was like sat at the dinner table because we're all having a meal. And I'm at the place where like Marissa Lenti's like, oh, let's come and meet up because I did Dark Moon the Blood Altar
That's right.
fairly
Yes, that's right.
recently.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Like all English cast, a bunch of really great people. Will Durrenti, I think
Yeah,
his last
he's
name is.
Drinzy Martin. Yeah, he's great. He's
Yeah,
really cool.
yeah, no, awesome, awesome guy. Elsie Lovelock was there obviously as
Mm.
because they voice Suha. Kieran Flinton wasn't there. I would love to meet Kieran Flinton though. Minton was
Min, yeah.
there. Yeah, and then I'm looking down like the table, and a guy comes in, big afro and stuff like that. I'm looking at him like, is that fucking Senor Palo? And someone just looks at me and goes, yeah, that's Palo. And I'm like, what the fuck? What? Why? I didn't expect, of all places, to run into Senor Palo to be like London MegaCon
Oh,
or
that's so
anything
cool.
like that. And I was just like, what the fuck?
I love Senior Pillow's work, man. Like,
He's
what was it? What was it like meeting him in person?
he's really sweet. Just a really, really nice person,
Yeah,
honestly. And I try, I try to play it a bit cool and everything like that. Even at the Lackadaisy mixer, I met Sung Won, and he's like sat on a chair outside because we had a big party to like celebrate Lackadaisy's
yeah.
pilot dropping. And I remember going over to Sung Won, who again, very nice person. I just went, "Hey Sung Won, I'm Valentine. I voiced Zib," and he's like, "Oh yeah, I know you." I'm like, yeah, I can see that loads of people here want to talk to you. I just want to say, I really love your work. Um, really nice to meet you. I'm just gonna go mingle, enjoy your time. I try to play it very like low
No, fair
key
enough. Fair
and
enough. Yeah.
stuff. And because honestly, like I don't know, it's a weird one, like because I'm not exactly like a huge voice actor or anything like that. And I guess
Well,
it's
I think you are. At least in my
oh
perspective, I think you are.
no, I don't know. I think of myself as still quite. Not. I don't think I'm an amateur. I think I'm good at what I do. I want to say I'm good at what I do.
Oh, you definitely
What
are,
do you?
for sure.
What do you think? Um,
I definitely think you are.
this sounds like I'm baiting you out to like compliment me.
No, seriously, no, I get it, cause like it's cause like no, I understand, like truly, cause like I've been in like ruts, and I still think I am, cause like I haven't really uh
No,
felt
dude, you
like
do good
felt
work.
like
You're in case closed. That's awesome.
no, thank you, man. It was very that was really fun, but I don't know,
I can imagine. Yeah,
it's one of those things where it's like because like no one has like found the cure for it, but like it's
the
you don't
imposter
imposter
syndrome.
syndrome, but like at the same time it's like, man, have I done enough? Am I good enough? What that kind of thing. So like, I totally get it, man. Like it's hard to like really nail that, but
Yeah,
I think
because
I think for you at least, I think you're doing fucking great, dude. Like
I
fucking
really
like
appreciate that,
like
man.
Dark Moon, Lackadaisy, Reverse Slash, Kind Quest. I'm just naming all the things, but like you're doing
That's
great, man.
that will be the thing where I get invited to a convention and people will know stuff I'm in
Yeah,
sometime, but
that's
like
awesome. Yeah,
because like it's kind of interesting. Um, I mean, I'm in stuff like Ruby, obviously,
that's right. Oh,
where I
Ruby, hell yeah,
yeah, I've voiced Ambrosius. He's like a big blue buff genie
nice.
in Ruby, and that was really fun. That was actually the first project I did in my booth,
Oh,
which I
that's
had made in like
awesome.
in 2020. I think everyone in 2020, when obviously lockdown hit and stuff, it was
Mm.
like, hmm. I should build a booth because
Yeah,
that's like the
remotes time.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, like, everything something went off in all the voice actors' head and they were like, I need to build a booth. It was the great booth building
yeah.
era of like the voice actors, online voice actors. And that did me really well because Marissa Lenti um directs with sound cadence and things, and
Mm,
they started doing more anime, and that's where I got a lot of opportunities to do anime like Dragon Goes House Hunting as
mm.
well,
That's right.
and some side bits. And I remember I did Death Battle in 2017, and that's
Mm.
how I met Marissa Lenti. And
Which
uh
which characters did you do in Death Battle? Because I know you did Reverse
I
Flash later on, but
I did Porcus D Ace versus
are you a?
Natsu.
Oh, were you
And I
Ace?
was Ace. I
Oh,
was Ace. Yeah,
oh, that's
I was Ace
awesome.
in that
Hell
one.
yeah.
Yeah, I was super excited because Ace is one of my favorite One Piece characters.
That's so cool. I,
Actually,
didn't know that.
I
He died a horrible death. My
he
God.
did die. It
I
was
still think
the
about it.
Marine.
I still think
Marine
about
Ford is an awesome arc. I remember at an internet cafe, I used to play not League of Legends. No, it was Warcraft with
it.
my friends. And there was like a bunch of mods on that game. It was the first interaction I had with mods. And some crazy son of a gun made a One Piece versus Naruto mod. And it was actually really impressive. And you could play as Ace. It was like One Piece. No, it was One Piece versus Bleach. And because my
Mm,
one friend was like, Bleach is so good, and I was like, Bleach is okay. I guess I
mm.
used to love Bleach, but then
Yeah,
I kind of like fell off it story wise. Respect to the creation of it and all that stuff. But yeah, and I used to play Ace all the time and
yeah,
use like Firefly on it. I was like, yo, this is like sick as hell. I love Ace. So it was very cool to get to play him in a capacity in Death Battle. And I even had a little boy come to me in a con wanting to meet me because he was like, you voiced Ace in One Piece. And I had to like clarify to him, no, 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 boy. I voiced Ace in
no
Death Battle
boy.
because, boy, watch yourself, boy. I only voiced him in Death Battle. And I remember he was like, well, you voiced Ace. I want you to sign this shirt that I want the whole One Piece cast to sign.
Oh,
And
that's
I
so sweet.
said to him, yeah, that's like one of his little dreams, like have the whole English cast of One Piece sign this shirt, like all the main cast, I guess. And or people, I don't know to what capacity because that's going to have to be a very big shirt, and it isn't like
Yeah,
a
a
big
lot of
shirt.
lot of
This is
signatures. It's gonna yeah,
yeah, this
this
is like
it's gonna
a
cover up. It's gonna cover up like most of the whatever's on it.
exactly
It's a
that's
lot of episodes, a lot of characters.
it's like a 12 to 13-year-old boy, and I say to him, I can't in all good faith do that. And they're offering me money and things like that. I'm like,
Oh,
whoa, I'm a One Piece fan and I love One Piece. And the mom's like, well, wait a second, hear him out. I'm like, I love One Piece and I don't want to take your money and sign a shirt because I'm not in One Piece yet.
yes, yeah.
Maybe one day. And it was so nice actually because I met him at one convention that was like on one part of the country. So I had to travel a bit to that one.
Mm,
Like I had to get like a good hour or so train.
hmm
And then I was in Birmingham the following year, maybe like later in the year.
hmm
And that same boy came up to me in like a completely different city. And instead, he was with his dad and he brought me a picture of Ace that he drew. And
Oh,
he came back to a
so
different con
nice.
to see me. And he said, I know you're not in One Piece. and I wanted and I'm really grateful that you were so nice last time. So I drew this picture of Ace, and I want you to sign it.
Oh, that's so sweet. That's
It
really cool.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it is like it's even those like things where you're like, well, that was cool because I love doing this job and I'm a huge nerd, so every opportunity, like I like money, obviously, but
Fair enough.
I still get so excited doing this job
Man,
when like, something like that happens where it's like, just someone being excited to meet me because I'm like, well, that was 2017. That was ages ago. And I think I did okay in that, but it's not something that I expect people to like still come up and talk about. Like the reverse flash thing, I talk to people about like Ruby, Dark Moon, and a bunch of stuff. And I'm sure you understand this feeling where it's like you tell people, I'm a voice actor, and then they'll be like, what have you been in? And a lot of the time in this industry, we don't get appreciated by a lot of people for
exactly.
doing what we do and being voice actors.
It's more
It's
so
always
like
a case
the
of,
results and like how big that result is. It's one of those things.
yeah. And it really does touch my heart so much when someone is like, no, I loved you in this. So I get people come up about the reverse flash thing sometimes, and because some people will not know what I'm in, and they'll be like, Ruby, have you heard of Ruby? That was like big, and they'll be like, no, no, and I'm like, damn,
That's still insane to me. Like Ruby is huge, man. Like
it
my God.
it is it I think it has like dwindled a bit because it's been a while
Yeah.
since the last season came out, and there's the whole history with like Rooster Teeth
That's right.
going
Yeah.
down stuff. I don't know. It's a show that's in a very strange place. Or I'll talk about like Black Desert Online, which is an old game now because
Hell
we
yeah.
redubbed that. That was really fun to dub over. It was like I got to be a boss and everything and an
Yeah.
NPC in a big MMO. That was really cool.
I wanted to ask actually because you've kind of come back from Reverse Slash like not only in Death Battle but there was that other one with like Lola Bunny's redesign which I think about to
Yeah.
this day. Um, was it full circle for you when you came back as Reverse Flash in Death Battle and things like that? Because you did so good in like not only as Ace but you did great as like Reverse Flash as well in that
That
battle.
was That was an interesting one because that was like a year or two later, I want to say, after
Yeah.
I'd done the meme. And I received the audition because sometimes I receive Death Battle auditions. I think it's sometimes it can be very all over the place with sound cadence sometimes. Sometimes I get stuff. Sometimes I will not hear anything from
Oh, dude, I
them
feel that.
for
I feel that. I
ages.
feel that
Yeah.
so hard, dude.
And okay, I feel like it's based on the director and whether or not that director knows or likes to work with you and stuff like that, or is like, I believe
I believe.
Valentine Stokes or Vikram, say for example, can do these characters and we'll see how they do and everything like that. But I did my audition for Reverse Flash and I was like, ah, you did the meme. Like just do the meme voice. Maybe like that'll work for them. Maybe who
Maybe.
knows? Because I kind of wasn't that aware of how big the meme was only 2 years later. Now that it's like 6 years down the line and it still pops up from time to time, I'm like, now I know how big this is, or how impressive, funny the meme is to people. But I then got a call back being like, yeah, you're the guy. We literally, and I was like, oh, so like, what was the process of like how you picked me? And they literally said, oh, we literally said if we got an audition from you, you have the role because
That's
we love
awesome.
that. And it was really weird. If you watch the behind the scenes, because they do one where they do like commentary on the
Yeah.
fights and the development of that episode. And they're like, yeah, we got Michael Kovac to be Goku Black because he did amazing in
Yeah.
that too. He
Oh
had
yeah.
like a great Kamehameha scream. It sounded awesome. He was like Michael just does amazing work, and it's super cool because I've been doing auditions alongside with Michael since my early days on BTVA, and it's so cool that I
Yeah, it must
still
have been like
get
crazy
to.
to like fight him technically in that
Yeah.
battle.
Oh yeah, no, in that actual fight that me and Michael Kovac had, where I like grinded his face along the surface of the earth and
Oh,
ran around it.
dude.
Oh, it was insane. Like
Yeah.
we still talk about that. No.
Like his
But
his I still think about Michael Kovac's scream for that because holy shit, dude, that was fuck. That was
no,
insane.
he did super awesome, and they were like, yeah, we got Michael Kovac to be Goku Black, and he did a great job. But we got Valentine Stokes, the Reverse Flash guy, who to do the reverse, and they were like, they sounded really excited. I was like, you have Michael Kovac like right over there, and you're excited about little old me. Ah, man, I'm looking sweaty. This room is so hot. Honestly, I'm glad I'm not in the booth because it would be like just pouring. Oh yeah, I'm all good. Like I'm just losing all the fluids in my body.
um, I guess speaking of you and Michael, because you mentioned before that you're both in Lackadaisy, and
Hmm.
and Lackadaisy is crazy cool because like I know like before the pilot came out, Lackadaisy had like a bunch of comics and things like that. Um, I guess kind of similar to Homestuck, which is also crazy because Homestuck has a pilot now too, or episodes now. But I guess for Lackadaisy, like how like when it first like came out and like when the Kickstarter stuff, what was it like, on the other side of that, um, and stuff like that.
So I was actually a fan of the comics
Oh,
long
that's
before the
cool.
pilot came out.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
dope.
high school, 2009. I read Lackadaisy. I was in a big web comic reading phase, honestly. And I absolutely adored Lackadaisy. And I had a pretty small scope of the internet as well. So for a long time, and probably still, absolutely still, I was talking to it with people about it at Develop even. I believe that Tracy Butler, the creator of Lackadaisy,
Mm-hmm.
was the single best artist on the internet.
Mm.
And I still kind of believe that. Um, Her work is just so breathtaking and fabulous. So when I heard that there was a Lackadaisy pilot on there, and I saw that Belshazzar was it, I was like, ah, good for Belshazzar. He's a nice guy. Like, oh yeah, he'll do it. Like, I'm interested to see that freckle. Because they're like Irish and stuff like that. So I was very
Yeah.
interested in like what it was going to be like. And then it was like, Michael Kovac's in it and stuff like that. And it was at Belshazzar's request that I received the auditions. They were like,
Oh, nice. Hell
Belshazzar
yeah.
Rusape recommended you for sending audition sites to. And initially, I actually auditioned for Nico,
Mm.
Nico Savoy, Nicodine Savoy. And I was doing like the Cajun Southerner type thing and everything like that. It was like, you got any lag room back there? And stuff like that. It's funny as well because I've done some like Deadlock content. I don't know if you've seen that. And there's a character called Drifter. He does like a Cajun accent, and it's basically that voice that I did for that, where it's like, "Hey there, what you doing?" and stuff like that. A lot of people think I'm doing like a Gambit thing from X-Men a lot of the time, and they're all like, "Ooh, I'm about to make a name for myself." Or whatever. But I auditioned for Nico because I was like, I think that's more in my range. I'm like a deeper voice guy, typically. This is just how like my voice naturally kind of goes. But then when you're like you kind of bring it up because you want to sound like more friendly and stuff like that. But my voice naturally kind of falls into a deeper tone. Um, but I didn't get the role, and they messaged me and they were like, "Hey." Uh, we want to hear you as Zib. And I was like, they want to hear me as Zib. Huh, I don't know. Can I do Zib? Okay. And I looked at obviously what they did, and I looked at the comic. I went back to look at the comic, and I was like looking, I was like, okay. And I just kind of like went with my regular sort of American sort of voice, but I was like really
Yeah.
tired and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, I hate everybody and stuff like that. And it's like very, sort of uh, a little bit raspy, a little bit like tired and things like that. But he's like deep, really, and kind of charming, I guess. And it's weird when I get into the Zib thing, I really do like, I'm suddenly like, I fall into it very easily now, I guess. Because I've been doing it for 6 years.
I guess
And
that's
I
true. Yeah.
wasn't expect I wasn't expecting much because I didn't look at Zib and go like that's my kind of character because he's sort of like this almost vagrant stonery dude and I was so shocked when they were like yes we want you to be our Zib and I apparently got that role over Brendan Blaber
Oh
and that
yes, yeah,
really surprised me because I would later work with Brendan Blaber on Tribe 9
yeah. Oh
actually
yeah,
and he
crazy. Hell yeah.
and he did a good job on that, I thought. Um and yeah, that was like so awesome. Like I always wanted to be like Rocky. I thought Rocky was cool in Lackadaisy, but obviously
Yeah,
Michael's kicking ass as Rocky. And so honestly, just the fact that I get to be a part of Lackadaisy at all, it's one of my deep, very like, oh my God, like I love that I got to voice Zib in the pilot and everything like that. It's such a cool
yeah,
character, and he's very interesting. And I realize and I learn a lot more about the character than I ever like appreciated when I was younger because
yeah.
the comic has so much going on. It's really well written, and yeah, it's just awesome to be a part of that legacy with something that I love and grew up with. And this is exactly what I'm
That's so
referring to. And
dope.
I'm like, that's exactly what I'm referring to. And I'm like, yeah, it's awesome to get paid for something that I like to do, but the real passion in it for me does just come from that little nerd kid in my
Mm.
heart. Um, Stuff like that, really. So yeah, it's awesome to be on like Lackadaisy and just get to work with Michael. I definitely had a bit of imposter syndrome because I was like working with Michael. I was like, well, Michael's awesome, but I know Michael, and but then it was like, this is Jason Monoka. This is
Yeah,
the voice of Megatron in the Netflix,
yeah.
and
That's
I'm
right.
like, and this is Benny Latham, and Benny is a really great actress in her own right, honestly. And then I met Malcolm, and and when I met Malcolm. I was like in like the big Discord call and everyone's in like their thing and I was like looking at all the people on their cameras and I was like
Nostalgia critic guy. It's like-
no I will admit I did literally I've told him this I said is that the black guy from the Nostalgia Critic and I remember he I you know what one time this is a great story actually so I met up with the cast and crew in LA and we
Mhm.
decided to go out to the shops at one point and Malcolm is such a sweet guy. I love talking with Malcolm so much. He's genuinely such a really talented, fun individual, and he's very sweet, very kind. And we were walking along, and we were stopped by someone, and they were looking right at Malcolm, and they were going, "I feel like I know you from somewhere, but I don't know where. Where might I know you?" And Malcolm stopped and went, um. Do you know the Nostalgia Critic? He's like, yes. And he's like, do you like Nostalgia Critic? Like, yes, I do. I'm like, and he actually went, well, I'm the but, and he stopped himself and he went, and he put his hand out and went, hi, I'm Malcolm. It's nice to meet you. I work with the Nostalgia Critic, and I was looking, and I remember being like. Malcolm, were you like after I was like, Malcolm, were you about to introduce yourself as the black guy from the Nostalgia Critic? And he was like, yeah. It was just so it was so funny. But it was so cool, honestly. Everyone on the cast is genuinely so lovely whenever we've gotten together and met up like at the parties and things like that. They are always so nice and supportive because I was feeling a lot of really bad like imposter syndrome because I'm
Mm.
like hi, I'm Valentine Stokes. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what to say if I or if I've because everyone has like really impressive resumes or like an actor in LA and stuff like that. Like Bellship has been kicking ass in his own right, being on like Dragon Balls, Dimer and stuff like that later on. But Belcher does great work. Michael, Malcolm, uh, you know, Jason, Bradley, they're all doing awesome things. So, and I remember just being like, I'm really nervous, and like we were doing like the read together, and they were genuinely all so supportive and patient with me and stuff like that because yeah, when you must know when like you're surrounded by a bunch of people and you really respect those people
Mm.
it can get to you in those moments and things like that. But honestly, like I couldn't ask for a better like cast, honestly, to work with.
Hell
and like
yeah.
help me get used to that. It's
Yeah, and I'm
it's
super excited
amazing.
for more Lackadaisy stuff to, come out in the future because I know you guys did really well in the Kickstarter, and I think you guys are you partnered with Glitch or something. I think right, if unless I got that
Hmm.
wrong. Yeah, so like
Yeah, no, it's like partnered with it's I can't talk about much with it, honestly.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Please do not like throw
yeah,
yourself into
I
like
can talk
any
about the
into
pilot
any
and stuff like that, but
yeah.
no, it's all been I love everyone on the Lackadaisy crew, honestly. They've all been just really great to me, honestly.
Yeah,
It's a good time.
yeah. Looking forward to seeing more of it. I think
Please do.
no, of course. It's like it's really beautifully made. Like, I love like the fluidity of like the movement. When I remember when I watched the pilot like way back when, I must have like
It
what
was
like
3 years ago. Let's not say way back when.
it was like 2022,
It was a while
2023
ago.
or something like that. It was something like around there.
Hmm.
Not too long ago.
Yes.
I'm just
I
saying.
It was 2023, but I remember being excited because Lackadaisy came out, and then like a month later or something like that, I'm like on the high of Lackadaisy and stuff like that. I'm like, oh my God, people liked my little bit in Lackadaisy, and people liked Zib. Oh, that's so awesome. And then A Fox in Space episode 2 came out,
Oh
and I was
yeah.
like, yeah, because the guy who works on A Fox in Space is absolutely awesome. He's cool as heck. I remember we were speaking about like Ninja Scroll, if you know Ninja Scroll, the movie, but
That sounds so vaguely
r
familiar.
dude, I will watch Ninja Scroll with you if you want. It's a freaking awesome movie. It's very dark, but it's a good freaking bit of anime.
Yeah. I actually wanted to ask you, cause I know I mentioned it like very briefly, but you kind of blew up again on the internet, with Kind Quest, which that was
Yeah, yeah.
what was that? I guess like for you to like, I guess blow up twice, which that must have been like crazy.
It's weird. I've blown up a few. I was gonna bring it up earlier, but like it's very funny. So obviously the reverse flash thing comes up. Another meme that I did that I don't think people are as aware that I did it because it's not a voiceover meme is do you remember the Super Smash Bros. Meme where it was
Yeah.
like the laser engul the light engulfing random
Yes. Yeah.
characters?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. It was like you just see a random clip of something and then suddenly the
It's just
light
the
would
light.
hit
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
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 I made the one. I did the one where Dale Gribble gets hit by the light, and he's like, Bobby, let me in!" And then he like, like the light just engulfs him behind the
Well,
window
you
and
made
stuff
that.
like
Well,
that.
you made
I
that.
made that. That was my contribution.
I didn't know
That
that. What the fuck?
yeah, that was my contribution to the World of Light meme in
Oh, that's dope.
2018 because I was on a huge King of the Hill kick. King of the Hill is a show with the revival. If I got the opportunity, I would be so stoked to work on that. It's
Oh
one of my
yeah.
favorite shows. But I did that World of Light, Dale Gribble, like, Levy and Bobby meme. And then the Kind Quest one, it was a similar one where I was just one day I go through bouts of like I'm active and I'm doing stuff, and then I get a bit like I kind of like crumple into myself and I don't do much online for a bit, and I just want to be on my own to like play Final Fantasy games or something like that
Fair enough. Very
or
valid.
whatever. But I've been quite busy with like being more social and doing conventions and stuff like
Yeah.
that as well.
I remember
But
I the funny thing is I remember seeing like the art of like Kind Quest going around and
mhm.
like the text first and then I think it was like maybe a day or two later then I saw like the voice to me that you did and I was like holy shit this is perfect. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I know that there's two of them because there's one where it's like very like a little bit more aggressive and it more suits the actual tone of like the original bit where he's like I'm so lonely, where
Yeah.
it's more like a whisper. And I was like looking at it and I was like, I'm gonna go for something a bit more full and like in line with the attitude that I'm imagining for the character, where it's just like, God, how did it even go? Because I haven't looked at it for like a few months, obviously, since I did it, because it was like 2 months ago
But it was
and
like
everything.
really it was really wholesome. Like the one thing that really sticks with me is like Carl. I even get a cool name. It's like
I even get a cool name.
that's so
Um,
wholesome, man.
yeah, I tend to like really try. I did the same thing with the Reverse Flash, where like I look at it for probably longer than I should for like a bit of dialogue, uh, and I just think about the emotions a lot.
Yeah,
with
I
it.
mean that's
Yeah.
I would consider that like a good thing because like it means you're really like putting your heart and soul into it.
I think people would probably be like, wait, you spent like an hour, like 20 minutes to an hour, like redoing that? Because I think about the emotion a lot, and I'm like, even though it's just one meme, I want it to like stick with people.
Yeah.
Because I think it's nice, and obviously I started with the I am so happy. All the people like me. Everyone talks to me. Everyone wants to be my friend. They think I'm amazing and stuff like that. And I think another important thing to it is, in my mind, the music and stuff like that. I think
Mm.
music is because I always feel like I listen to something and I'm like, okay, in a vacuum, you can sound good, but like the right music obviously elevates it. And that's like,
Mm.
it's part of like performance and stuff like that. I remember do you like Kingdom Hearts?
I do like Kingdom Hearts. I was introduced to Kingdom Hearts so late in life, but like I love it. I know everything. I'm caught up. I know everything about it now. So
Nice.
thankfully.
358 Days,
Hmm.
Roxas's backstory,
Yes.
and one of my favorite ever scenes in voice acting. 'Cause I have a few things that like really inspire me, and it's some of like my top like voice acting moments. It's the scene where Axel is fighting Shion, or is confronting Shion to take her back to Organization
Yes.
13.
Yes. That's right. Yeah.
And it's when the music freaking swells and he just goes, "What's your problem?" And is like, you both think you can do whatever you want. Well, I'm sick of it. The performance in a vacuum is fantastic. It's great, but that music and everything, that swell,
Mm.
when he starts
Adds to
like
it.
breaking it down and like lets himself get emotional, it brings it to a new level. And I do a similar thing like that with the reverse flash meme, where it's like, the background music is from the movie
Yeah. The Flashpoint
uh
Paradox. Right. Yeah.
Flashpoint Paradox. Great DC movie.
Such a
Honestly,
good movie.
it's such a good. Honestly, a lot of those 2010 DC films, like the
Like
2010s,
I love
super good.
I love the DC animated movies. There was like a point in time where Marvel, and this was like back in like maybe like early 2000s, they did like their own animated movies like Hulk versus Wolverine or Doctor Strange. Those were like
I love that.
really good.
Dude, watching those online, like in like 50 episodes split up into like
Oh
one or
yeah,
two
like
minutes.
like a plaplaylist. Yeah.
Yeah, and just being like, oh, this is epic. Time to click on the next part of the. Where's part
Yeah, what
12?
it's like what the hell? I'm in part like 20. I was like part 18. Where I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I got one part got copyright claimed, but the rest is fine.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
exactly. Just that experience. And Yeah, I rewatched Justice League, the original Justice, not none of the original Justice League like Friends, but like the
oh like the 2000s.
2000s
Yes,
Justice
yes.
League. Yeah, and that show is freaking perfect. The
Mm.
original Justice League, it like I was like so blown away because I used to not like Justice League because it was a bit serious for me when I was a kid, and I
Mm.
liked things to either be like exciting, so I would watch some episodes of Justice League when some cool stuff was going on because I have pretty bad ADHD. Not gonna lie. You know, I would be like, oh, fight's happening. That's cool.
Yeah.
Why is Batman kissing a cheetah lady? That's weird. That's that's weird. This
Yeah,
is
you won't find that in Marvel.
Yeah, no, exactly. Such a, but I remember I got to the Aquaman episode and it was like Aquaman has like appeared like to like declare war
Oh,
on against the people of the surface, I guess.
is that
And
the
then
one
it's
where he has like?
like
Is this the one where he has like a hook for a hand or a sword for a hand or
yes,
something?
yes,
Yeah, that's
exactly.
right.
And I knew that he had a hook for a hand, and I'd evidently never seen this episode when I was a kid or anything like that. He loses his hand saving his son in
Mm,
those episodes, and it's so freaking epic. It's
mm.
so cool. I was like, this is the best version of Aquaman. Sorry, Jason Momoa, you do great though. I love Jason Momoa. He's a cool guy. But I was just like, God damn. It's like Aquaman gets shot. The Atlanteans, some dude in Atlantis has been like plotting to like start a coup and like political war and
Yeah,
stuff like
there's some
that.
good shit,
And
man.
I'm like there just having my lunch and I'm like, this is like fucking real life. What the fuck?
Dude,
It's so crazy.
because I started off, I think, with Marvel first, then with DC.
Mm.
So I think at the time, when I was like a little bit younger, you know, the jump from like fucking superhero squad and Marvel to like Justice League was insane.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
like, it's so crazy.
It,
But
I,
I love
it's,
DC
I,
stories, man.
oh,
I think I've come to appreciate them a little bit more over time. Um, but like they're like some Marvel stories I really like.
mm.
I love like whatever they're doing with the Maker. I really love that stuff with it with like the evil Mr. Fantastic. I fucking love that so
Oh yeah,
much.
no, from Ultimate Marvel, yeah. See, Ultimate
Yeah,
Marvel's a weird thing. I like the old Ultimate Marvel comics. I know people like meme on them a lot because it's like there's some
it's not
goofy, like
there,
weird stuff.
there's some weird stuff in there, but like there's some stuff they do really good sometimes.
There is a storyline where Beast of the X-Men
Hmm.
is lonely because he is a big blue furry man and stuff like that, and ergo cannot get play very easily.
Yeah.
And he goes into an online chat room to like talk to people, and he meets a girl on that chat room that turns out to be the Blob catfishing him
Oh,
and
what?
getting and getting like
God.
secrets of the X-Men and plans and stuff like that. And it's
Oh,
revealed that like the Blob, who in the Ultimate Marvel universe is like a disgusting pig of a man, just like a real just horrid person. Eats I think he eats someone at some point in that series even.
what? Jesus
Yeah,
Christ!
he eats he
I missed
eats
that.
Wasp. I think he eats Wasp.
He eats wasp.
He kills Wasp. I think he kills Wasp by eating her in Ultimate Marvel.
Oh my
Blob
God.
kills Wasp
What?
Marvel.
I think I missed this. What the fuck? I didn't know that.
Yeah, in the controversial 2009 Ultimatum storyline from Marvel's Ultimate Universe, Earth 1610, the X-Men villain Blob killed and cannibalized Jane Van Dyne Wasp. Yeah, it's freaking yeah, he eats her.
But like,
Like
does he?
cannibal.
But like, does he eat her like, and when she's
Oh,
small, or does he eat her when she's like?
no, 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 he eats her when she's like regular size. It
Oh,
is
that's
it
even
is
worse. What the
Do
hell?
do you
That's
know that did I actually add you on Discord in the end? Did I? Or did I
I
forget?
I don't know. Maybe you did. I'm not
One second.
sure.
I can post an image in the Zoom, right?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
Yeah, sure. Okay. How do I do chat and then can I paste that? Yeah, boom. There it is. That is the image.
All right, let's
It
take a
is
look.
like it's like that picture of
Oh my
uh
God.
Kronos eating his children or something like that. Yeah, it's horrid.
Oh Jesus! What do they
Also,
do to
dude,
you? What do they do to you, Blob? What the
Ul-
fuck?
Ul- Ultimate Marvel was messed up, but yeah, the storyline was that Beast gets freaking catfished by the Blob, and that's like an actual. It's messed up, and people are probably like that's silly and stupid, but this is like the early 2000s where the internet is starting to get popularized. That's a moral right there to not trust the people that you speak to online because you do not know who they are and you do not know their intentions.
It also doesn't help that Blob is like it looks like the average redditor. Unfortunately, doesn't
Yeah,
help
no,
at all.
it's sad, but yeah, Beast gets catfished
Oh
and
man.
emotionally manipulated by all caps mutant chick, and his username is Beast666.
Oh my God.
I'm not even lying. I'm not even lying.
I feel bad
Because
for Hank, man, because he doesn't even know the internet that well. I would imagine. So like,
yeah, no, that's the thing. This is all like in you know, uh mid 2000s. The internet is still kind of getting popularized for like the public use and stuff like that. It's interesting and people like mock it a lot, but there's like interesting, like thought-provoking stuff in there. I mean, I think a lot of people like what about that time Wolverine was like watching Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch like have incestual
huh?
relationships from a bush and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, that's weird, but it's like it's interesting, I guess.
I
Like,
guess I didn't know that that happened either. Jesus,
yeah, no,
what's going on, man? Have I missed
I know
something?
I've really derailed this voice acting podcast,
No,
haven't
this is great. I love this. Not
But
the incest, but I love that.
yeah.
I love
Oh,
I love when you talk about
no, no.
comics.
I don't think anyone loves the incest or anything like that. But I'm just, it's one of those things. Where, I love stories that make me go, what, huh?
Yeah.
Because that's why I'm a big fan of like pulpy media and stuff like that. I adore Chainsaw Man.
Mm.
2018, like late 2018, like or 2019, I want to say, when Chainsaw Man came out, I immediately looked at that and went, "Yo, this is my fucking jam."
Yeah. Hell
And
yeah.
I have negative feelings on how it ended, but I also
Fair
have
enough.
positive feelings.
Fair enough.
I also have positive feelings about. I think the story definitely got a
Yeah,
bit too big for
I
Fujimoto, but yeah.
it's hard like nowadays like like not even just manga but like stories in general to really like stick the landing sometimes.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's really sad like 'cause I remember this is quite recentish but at the time of recording but I remember when the boys like when that ended. Oh
I'm a
god.
big fan of the comics, and I
Really?
watched Yes, I actually love the Boys comic. I read
Okay.
it as it was coming out when I was a kid, because I'm in England
Why
and
would
stuff
you
like
read
that.
it as
It's
a
in
kid?
English.
That's like you shouldn't be
It's
reading that
a
as a kid. Jesus
My
Christ.
brother, my brother used to download a lot of things like from like sites and stuff like that, like movies and things like that
Oh, gotcha.
years ago, and he would have a comic reader, and he had a couple issues of The Boys on there. And when I was like, just he was like, I was like, George, I'm bored, and I don't know, like, can I have some comics off you or something like that? Can I just read something?
Yeah.
And he gave me The Boys, and I don't know if maybe he was screwing with me, or maybe I was simply like one day walked past him and went, "What are you reading?" And he was like, "Oh, it's called The Boys. It's about a bunch of people who kill superheroes." I'm like, "Why? They're superheroes." He's like, "Because they're messed up people." I'm like, "The boys are?" Like, "No, the superheroes are." And that's immediately really interesting.
Yeah, because a
And
lot I know
and people,
because people like really didn't like the comics when the show came out, and
yeah,
like
people really
but
the comics, I will
there
staunchly
there
defend the comics. They
there's
actually have a lot to say.
yeah there's parts of both that I really like. I think I do prefer the show just a little bit,
That's fair.
but like with the ending, I don't know, man. I honestly at this point with how it was like it's different. I liked it in a vacuum, but it just was not satisfying. The entirety of season
No, that's fair.
five, it was just the majority of season five, like there's so much stuff you could just remove, replace it with this, and just carry on.
They honestly, and this is speaking as someone who like loves the comics, and I could tell you loads about the comics because I actually reread it about 2 years ago. Reread the
Mm,
whole thing, and I absolutely loved it. It's one of those stories where like there is a lot that I think that people would like, very modern sensibilities, obviously, are going to absolutely hate. There's crass language, there is just shock factor value stuff in there. But there, one of my favorite stories in it was more about it's sort of about virtue signaling, where Huey Butcher is very like, ah, these gay people, hey Huey, and stuff like that, and saying a bunch of stuff that I won't repeat here because it's not nice, but like I actually recommend reading it.
yeah,
But like Butcher just like talks about gay people in a way, or queer people, LGBT people, in a way that Huey doesn't appreciate. But then when he's like down on the ground and interviewing these people and speaking to them because a young gay man has been murdered by
yeah,
a superhero, and Butcher is just talking to them in a straight-laced way. He's just like, asking questions, stuff like that. And one of them touches Huey in a way that he doesn't like, and he like immediately like, get the fuck off, don't you touch me and everything like that.
mm,
And Butcher's like, what is wrong with you, Hugh? And he's like, I'm, I just, and he can't really explain himself. He's like weirdly annoyed about this. And Butcher's just like, Huey, they're just people and stuff like, but you talk about them. And he's like, yeah, I talk in a way, but I don't treat people like you have suddenly. And it's like,
mm,
oh, it's one of those things where like Huey's like, yeah, you can try and act like you're better than Butcher, and a lot of people are better than Butcher. Butcher is not a nice person
oh yeah,
in the comics, but it's like the way that he like presents himself versus the way that he actually behaves. There's like a lot of stuff to it. when you get into it. But there's obviously still also things that people aren't gonna like in it. But it's a story, I think, at the end of the day, with stuff to say. We are running out of time momentarily. This has been I'm gonna say, if you want to stop recording right there or
Oh no, it's all
whatever.
good. I do have like one more question for you, and
Oh
that'll
yeah, go on.
probably probably be the last one. So my last
Okay,
question to
I
you,
gotta say, if you want to do a more like focused one, I'm down for that.
you're good. Don't no, you're all good. Don't worry, man. But I guess my last question to you is, because you've been doing voiceover since you said 2014, right?
Yeah, started as a hobby, and I'd say I think my page on like a dubbing thing is like 2021 was like his professional start point, I think. So samesies with you.
Yeah, same Z. Let's go. But from seeing how much the online space has changed in that
Mm.
time to like, continuing now as like a remote actor and things like that, and still wanting to do things and hone your craft and love it. What keeps you going, man? I'd love to know.
Love for the craft. Honestly, the people. Again, I'm just a gigantic nerd at my heart. I've actually I think it's fun. I think voice acting was just the thing that I picked up, and it was like it gave me confidence, honestly, because
Yeah.
I used to be pretty shy. I used to mumble a lot, and now I feel
Oh,
like
me
I
too,
I
man.
found
Me too. Yeah, I feel
I
that.
like I think some people I tell people like voice acting is a great way to become confident, but at the end of the day, it's really you just have to find something that you're passionate about, and that will make
Mm,
you confident. And voice acting is my thing. And there are still some things I don't know. I never took any formal classes. I did some like drama classes, like for
yeah,
basic high school stuff.
yeah.
But I'm trying to take it more seriously after a long time. Like I'm actually doing some vocal coaching
Nice.
and
Hell
stuff
yeah.
like that, getting vocal coaching because there's stuff that I don't understand or I never really like looked into. So I'm actually doing for the next couple of weeks some heavy metal vocal coaching
Oh, that's
for
dope.
like it
Hell yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be really fun because I realized like there's just some things that I haven't been like learning about and I've just been sort of doing my thing, I guess, regularly. Um it is just the thing that more than anything I would like to do for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And
Hell yeah.
whether there's AI or something like that that people get worried about, I'm just like, I love doing what I do. I love meeting people through it. I love doing this. It's just, I'm in love with voice acting. I am in love
Hell
with the
yeah.
craft of voice acting.
Hell yeah. It's a really good answer, and I appreciate that, man. And yeah, and I guess with that, this interview comes to a close. Valentine, thank you so much
I'm
for
s-
spending time with me, man. Especially like
I'm
such a.
sorry.
It's like what, midnight? So my God, get
Yes,
some
it has
fucking
just hit
sleep,
quarter
dog.
past. Well, thank you for having me, Vikram. This was really, really fun. I'm sorry I derailed it with my talk
No,
about like
do not
comics and
apologize
stuff
at
like
all. Like
that.
I very much welcome it. You can talk about whatever the hell you want here, man.
Bring me
So
on for a second episode and like have like a list of questions. Just it'll be hard. Keep me on track or something.
it'll just be about comics at this point. I think.
I'm down for that. I'm down for that.
Hell yeah. But dude, where can people find you on socials and stuff? I can put in the description below.
My socials are beautiful Val. It's one of those weird things. It's beautiful Val on Instagram. Beautiful Valentine on Twitter.
Mhm.
Or at Beautiful Val as well on Twitter, Beautiful Val on Instagram, and Beautiful Valentine on YouTube.
Hell
So
yeah. I'll
hell yeah.
also put your website down below just in case people want to reach out and things like that. Hell yeah. I was gonna say I would imagine you're a Beautiful Joe enjoyer
Damn
from.
straight. I'm a huge Capcom fan, honestly.
Hell yeah, love Beautiful Joe. I'm waiting for that remake. That's what I'm waiting for.
Dude, it would be so cool. I mean, they kind of ended it with the DS games, actually. It was like it's a good
No man,
finale to
no.
it. Double Trouble.
If Okami can get a sequel, so can Beautiful Joe. I'm
That's
here
another
for it.
game that I've replayed very recently,
I love
actually. Super
Okami.
good game.
Capcom has some
Amazing game.
has some really good games that like either needs a sequel or needs to be remade. Like I love Asura's Wrath. Do I think it needs like a sequel or a remake? I
I
don't
love
know.
Asura's Wrath. Dude, as a company, Capcom are probably my actual favorite game
Oh
company.
yeah, very consistent. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. But thank you so much for having me on here, Vikram. It was really nice getting to speak to you the
Yeah.
first time. You're a really classy dude. I love
Ah,
it.
thank you. I appreciate you calling me classy because I am not at all. So I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you for spending time with me, man. It was super, also really lovely to talk to you for like the longest time I've been wanting to. So I'm glad we finally got to chat.
I I am very see, I'm very open to talk with just about anyone, honestly. If someone I'm terrible at approaching people. If someone just walks up to me though, I'm just like, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" "Yeah, I'm down."
Hell
I'm
yeah,
literally down for whatever.
easy.
Anyway,
But
anyway,
yeah,
peace.
yeah. Thanks you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you for the next interview. Bye, everybody.